Alright everyone, today's tutorial will be on how to create a gash that gushes blood. The items you will need will be liquid latex, tissue paper, brushes or makeup sponges, scissors, Vaseline, liquid foundation or liquid paint of your choice, powder foundation or baby powder, black cream paint, plastic tubing, liquid blood, and scab blood. First, cover stray hairs with Vaseline. This will prevent them from getting ripped off when we remove the prosthetic. Then, start laying down a thin base layer of latex. This will be used to stick the first layer of tissue paper on. Try to lay down the tissue paper so that it has no wrinkles. Then add another layer of latex over top of it and let it dry. If you find the area of the tissue paper is too large for the wound that you want, carefully tear the loose edges off. This does not have to be perfect, but a good trick is to use the edge of a makeup sponge to keep the tissue paper from ripping off or tearing too far in. Next, we are going to add our tubing. What you will need to do is place one end of the tube at the side of the prosthetic that you want the blood to shoot from, and tape it down. Then cover the end of the tube and the prosthetic in latex, and add another piece of tissue paper over both. Make sure to cover up where we taped it down as well. Add another layer of latex over top of the entire piece. Now we will continue to build up the skin of the prosthetic by continuing to layer latex and tissue paper, making sure to let the layers dry before putting on the next. Next, we will powder the prosthetic. You can use either baby powder or a matching skin tone powder foundation. Be generous with the amount that you use, and also powder the skin around the prosthetic. I'm using a fluffy powder brush that I sterilized, but to be more sanitary, I would suggest using a disposable makeup puff or a sponge. After the powder, sponge on matching liquid foundation or makeup color of your choice. Again, you will need to be generous if it is a foundation because it's not as highly pigmented as body paints or cream paints. Make sure to blend the color into the skin as well. If your color is still too translucent, you can add another layer of powder and then more liquid foundation. This will also keep the foundation from sliding or rubbing off the latex. Just always end with powder. Try to spend extra time on blending your prosthetic into the skin. If you're finding the color looks too bland or unrealistic, powder a light layer of red blush to make it look irritating. Be extremely careful in this next step. We will very carefully cut a slit into the latex using scissors. Please ask your actor to tell you if anything hurts, and do not cut your actor. Once you have a small slit, use the end of a thin brush or even a chopstick to create a small gap between the latex and your actor's skin. This will help to ensure that we only have fake blood in this look. Cut the latex to the length of the wound that you want, and make sure not to expose the tubing underneath. Open up the wound a small bit with your fingers. Next, use black cream paint to fill in the bottom of the wound and the insides of the prosthetic skin flaps. It would also be a good idea to paint the tip of the tube underneath the flaps. Now it's time for blood. You can bloody it up any way you want, but this is what I did. Start stippling liquid blood on top of and around the wound. Then, reopen the wound and add in liquid blood, scab blood, or preferably both. Take some blood on your fingers and dab or smear it around for an extra effect. After it has been bloodied to your liking, it's time to animate it. Use a medicine syringe like this one to fill the tube with blood, and you're ready to go. Depending on what pressure you use, you will get a different result. And remember, blood does stain, so lay down a plastic trash bag or something else to catch the blood. I hope you've enjoyed this Gushing Gash tutorial, and if you have any questions, concerns, or ideas, write them in the comment section below. Until next time, stay safe and stay scary.